fun, but now she's done. I'm Karen Parsons. You probably know me better as Hillary from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But these days, I'm founder of Sweet Blackberry, an educational organization that teaches stories of little-known African Americans in history to kids. I'm also a wife, and most importantly, I'm a mom. With Election Day next week and a presidential election year on the horizon, now is the perfect opportunity for you to teach your kids about citizenship, democracy, and the importance of being involved in the community. Kids learn attitudes and behaviors early on in life, and they're best learned from their parents. In the spirit of Election Day, we dedicate today's Mommy-in-Chief to raising grounded, socially responsible children. You probably know that it was 3 years ago today that President Obama was elected as the first Black president of the United States of America. But did you also know that in 1992, Dr. Mae Jemison became the first Black woman to travel in space aboard the Shuttle Endeavour? Or that in 2001, Ruth Simmons became the first Black person to head an Ivy League university? Or that Jack Johnson, the first Black heavyweight champion, also held a patent for an improvement on the wrench? Sweet Blackberry is dedicated to bringing stories of African American achievement to children everywhere. These triumphant stories of individuals surmounting the odds and making invaluable contributions to our society will help your child learn the importance of giving back to the community while giving them a historical perspective to the tremendous achievements of these extraordinary individuals. For more famous firsts and other inspirational stories, please visit www.sweetblackberry.org. Raising socially responsible children in today's world just isn't easy. So today we have with us social justice scholar and award-winning author, Dr. Marcella Rennell Hall. She's here with us to get us started. Dr. Rennell Hall is the director of the Center of Multicultural Education and Programs at New York University. Hi, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to ask, my kids are 8 and 4. How can I, at this age, what can I do so that I know that I'm raising a good citizen?
I think the most important thing is to start with role modeling. I think it's really important to, role model in language, in interactions, even in behavior. You can't really expect your kids to do things you're not willing to do yourself. So I think if you recycle, they'll recycle. If they see you treating people in a particular way or remembering to engage, then they'll do the same.
Right. Oh, I get that. They're total sponges. Everything I do, I always hear back. Things I don't want to hear back, I hear back at the most inappropriate times. Exactly. Right. But what about activities? Are there activities that I can do with my kids to make sure that they're aware of community and the differences around them?
Absolutely, and it really can be fun and exciting and engaging. My daughter's only 1, and she's already been in 3 5Ks in her stroller with me, so that we've been able to engage, around issues like breast cancer or healthy living, all through participating in activities like that.
Well, that's great. It's such a young age. Yeah. It's going in, though, definitely.
Yeah, right. It becomes normal to her that this is what we do.
I'm concerned with the media and a lot of what the media's impact is on my kids. I mean, so much stuff, whether it's on television or on billboards, that you can't get away from, no matter what you do, what streets you try to drive down, to get away from it. My kids are exposed to stuff that I can't control. Right. So what can I do to counteract that or balance that? Do you have any suggestions?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's twofold. One is you can provide other examples. So there are certainly books, TV shows, things that have good content that I think is also engaging and has a civic engagement lens to it, so that kids can really find it fun but also learn something. But in addition to that, I think media literacy is really important. So to really talk to them about what they're seeing. If they are seeing things that you think are troubling, talk about it and give them a chance to ask questions.
Hey, but what about things that are, you think maybe age inappropriate that they've seen and they come to you with questions about? How do you handle that?
Well, I think that the good thing about kids is they have an innate sense of fairness and around justice. So I mean, I think you can explain, what something, a negative content might be and why, and you can give them the chance to really be critical themselves or to talk about what they would do instead. I think a great activity is, how would you do this if you were the one to be creating this? What would be a different image? Would you wear a different outfit or sing a different song or say something different?
I like that. My son's preschool teacher is very good at, pre-K teacher is very good at turning everything right back. If you have a question, she asks, well, what do you think? Well, what would you do? Well, and it engages him and makes him really become involved in his own thinking about it.
Right, and without seeming judgmental or preachy, because even though we're parents, we also don't want it to seem like it's our way or no way,
Right.
That's the quickest way to get to resistance.
Exactly.
So we really want kids to be involved.
I like that. Well, I see that you have some books there. Do you have any books there that
Well, this is actually Aaliyah's favorite book that we're reading right now. She goes and pulls it out, and it's called The Skin You Live In. And it's just a really fantastic, creative book that's all about different types of people in the world and what we all have in common, and how we see ourselves. And it's well done, really creative, engaging, great illustrations.
I love that. I'm definitely going to be looking at that. And that one looks like that's for
this is
little
older. This is middle and high school students. This is actually a curriculum project, but it's something you could certainly use at home because there's all kinds of information and activities to engage around issues of race, class, social justice for the bigger kids. Yeah.
Okay, that's I sounds like would my 8-year-old be able to?
I think there'd be a couple things in here that you could definitely modify to use with younger kids, but it makes it easy so the information's all there.
That's
so
great.
You don't have to do a whole lot of background work to have a fun lesson plan at home.
I like that. I like that. So how will I know when all of my hard work at trying to raise these really social, responsible kids, how do I know when it's having an impact? How can I tell?
Well, I think that you'll see in behavior, attitude, language, but mostly in interest, and I think they may be interested in things that we're not interested in, but they take on projects of their own or service projects they want to get involved in or organizations they feel really passionate about or they want to start their own movement in their school or their neighborhood.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think that's when you'll see that they've really gotten excited about this, but oftentimes it's the things that surprise you. It's not always the things you're passionate about.
Thank you so much for all of your help and advice. I feel inspired. I do. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Welcome to Mommy in Chief's Social Media Brief, where I'll share with you some of the intelligence from other Mommies in Chief via our Facebook page. Today's topic of discussion, Election Day. Do you vote when it's not a presidential election? Why? Why not? All right. Eartha from Columbia, Maryland says, yes, I do. I brought my kids into the voting booth with me until they told me they were too old. My oldest will be 18 next month and is really looking forward to voting in the next election. Let's see. Oh, and Tara says, yes, politics is the lifeline of the nation. If we do not shape it by making our voices heard via our vote, we cannot make it. Whether we vote locally or nationally, we cannot be ignored. Your vote is your voice. Make it heard. Enough said. There are a lot of great websites out there dedicated to helping keep your child connected to the world around them. HTEkidsnews.com, short for Here, There, Everywhere, News for Kids, is a kids news website. Kids will love that the news is directed towards stories that interest them, and you'll love not having to filter out and edit any stories. PBS Kids has a great interactive site where kids can learn how democracy works and the importance of voting. And VolunteerMatch.org matches potential volunteers with great opportunities near them according to their interests. This election season, remember to get out there and vote. And always lead by example. It's never too early to teach your kids how to be good citizens. Now for links, downloadable documents, and more information on today's episode, please log on to our website at madamnoir.com/mommyinchief. And you can always follow us on Twitter at Madam Noir or like us on Facebook. And you can find me on Twitter at Karen Parsons, KARYN_Parsons, or at sweetblackberry.org. Thanks.